Hey everyone, it's Brenda Westwood here at Horse Sense Healing with another episode of Living Your Grit with Grace. And it's been a long day here, and it's the fall equinox, so happy equinox. I'm reminded today of balance because we are at the time that we have equal night and day pretty much as we head towards through the fall, towards the darkness of winter and the time to reflect. But what brought this to me today was I had this spider plant that hasn't been looking so great for quite a while, and I've kind of put it off. But today I decided it was time to take care of it. So in transplanting it and giving it fresh new dirt, I realized it's kind of like our lives. If we get so busy, caught up in our daily lives, and perhaps if you're a caregiver or nurturer, helper, healer, a person who takes care of others' needs way before our own, you can get caught up in that and exhausted and ignore your own, and pretty soon it's like your own roots are dying. You might get numb. You might feel completely overwhelmed, and then get numb, or have extreme anxiety. Heavy sighs, that's my go-to usually when I start to get overwhelmed. But when life is out of balance, I guess today what I'm trying to say is, because we're at the equinox, it's a time of balance, and to take a look at where is your life in or out of balance, and where is your life out of balance around taking care of you, celebrating you, taking that breath. Yeah, that feels good. Being with yourself. You know, you might have a message that it's not okay to stop and take time for yourself. I've heard this certainly many times. It's selfish to do for me, or to care for me, or to care for myself. And maybe it's an old story for you. But what would it take for you to take that breath, and how would you feel? Gosh, what would it feel like to have a breathing space, some balance between work and play and self-care, to restore, to allow life to flow and feel fluid, and give yourself permission to pause and read a book, sit by the creek, take a walk, do what you love. Do you remember what that is? So sometimes when we get so caught up in doing so much, and a lot of times it is caregiving, we forget to notice that we're even thirsty. We don't even notice when we're getting depleted until it's crash, until you're so exhausted, you're bone weary. So what if, instead of that, you begin to notice when you begin to notice your needs. Imagine that. You begin to notice that you need time for you. You begin to notice that you need to take that deep breath. And life begins to slow down a little bit. You begin to feel more restored, more rested. Perhaps you sleep better. So what does that take? I invite you on this day of equinox to just, or tomorrow or the next, or just every second that you pops into your mind, record on your phone. I notice my body feels thirsty. I notice my body feels like moving. I notice I need to eat a healthy meal. Whatever it is, however you need to notice it. Track it. Stop, be with it, feel it. And then what would it take to give yourself permission to do it? You can do self-care in 10 seconds. Really, it's just stop and breathe. There was a time when I was, crazy time in my life, but one of my Grit with Grace stories felt like a whole lot of grit, I gotta tell you, but I had entered into this situation with a man who had these great dreams, and I was pretty burned out from my child protection work, and tired, and exiting an unhealthy relationship and all of that. I was burned out, truthfully. And anyway, I entered this relationship, and it was crazy. Someday I'll tell you all about it. But I was so stressed, worrying about finances and achieving this vision that felt beyond. It was beyond, by the way. But I was driving to deliver a horse, and I was pulling a horse trailer, and suddenly my lips began to tingle and go numb, and I couldn't catch my breath. I thought I had pneumonia. I delivered the horse. I went back to my healthcare practitioner, and she says to me, well, I can get you a chest x-ray to relieve your mind that you don't have pneumonia, but I think you're having an anxiety attack. So she cut out a little orange dot out of a sticker, and she put it in the center of my watch. And she said, every time you look at that, I want you to stop and breathe for 10 seconds. Even if it's 3 deep breaths. But really, it can be so small. So where can you find more balance in your life? Homework. Yeah. Look at where your life feels out of balance, or start noticing what you need, even if you're not realizing what you need now. So anyway, we are here to support you, and thank you so much for hanging out with this episode of Living Your Grit with Grace, and we will see you again soon. It's a crazy, crazy week for me, so I'm not sure I'm going to get to this every day, but I'll be thinking of you, and stay tuned. Thank you.